We found a way to make a whisky business without having any whisky to sell.
Paddy Fletcher is co-founder of Port of Leith distillery in Edinburgh. It opened last year as Scotland's first vertical distillery. It cost £12 million to build and can make 1 million bottles of single malt a year. Tourists visit to learn how whisky is made and sample it.
When you're producing whisky, to call something Scotch whisky, you need to mature it for a minimum of 3 years before you're legally allowed to label it as such. What we've done is to build a building in a high footfall area. Edinburgh gets 5 million visitors a year, and down here in Leith, the Royal Yacht Britannia, our neighbour, gets over 400,000 visitors a year. By tapping into that long tail of visitors, we can use those people as a long-term customer base to build up demand for our whisky as it becomes available from our warehouse. Because whisky takes a long time to mature, building a whisky distillery in the Highlands would mean that we don't have any customer base or any cash flows to create the whisky that we need to lay down. Tapping into existing tourism infrastructure here in Edinburgh, we can use tourism revenues and revenues from our bar and our retail environment to fund our stock laydown. 3 years is the legal minimum, but in an ideal world, you want 8, 10, 12-year-old whisky to sell to your customers. The cash flows required to build up that stock base are large, and by tapping into tourism inflows through Leith and through Edinburgh, we can use those cash flows to really create really good quality Scotch that we can sit on for as long as possible before we release it as bottled stock.